All right, folks. It's a special time of year here on Trading Paperbacks. A wonderful time of season. A time where we get to enjoy the very first ever Trading Paperbacks Holiday Special. Gary, are you feeling the holiday spirit? You feeling rejoiced
I'm
with
feeling
Christmas?
absolutely festive.
I love it. Of course, no holiday would be complete without 2015's Marvel Secret Wars by Johnathan Hickman.
'Tis the season.
All right, yeah, everyone, we're here for a little bit of a holiday special. We're covering 2015 Secret Wars, a book that has been all the rave ever since the MCU announced that this is going to be following, at one point, the Kang Dynasty, now Doomsday, to be, what is it, like the sixth Avengers movie?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
crazy we've made it to this point. This is, of course, the second Secret Wars book Marvel did. The first one was a big push for action figures in, what was it, the 80s?
Yeah, the 80s. I think it was 86 or 84.
It doesn't matter which one's better. I've only read one of them.
Same here.
Gary, this is such a thick book.
It is a meaty boy.
You just read all 9 issues. I've collected the trade paperback of this, and it is thick.
It is a thick boy
Talking
indeed.
talking Diary of a Wimpy Kid size book.
Alright, Wimpy Kid got nothing on this one though.
No, this was really good. So I think the best way to do this, Gary, is to take this straight up just issue by issue.
Yeah, just go highlights here and there.
Mm-hmm. I have no idea how else to do this other than that. So
Yeah, it's a lot to cover.
let's start with Secret Wars issue 1. Gary, what do you think happened in this issue?
I mean, kind of a lot happened if you ask me. Everything's kind of falling apart. The universes are starting to just collide into one. Everything's beginning to shatter, and everybody's just in a panic and uproar and fighting each other.
Yeah, I thought this was a really good first issue, really setting the stage with the incursions. I mean, the first page alone is Doom Strange and the Beyonder all staring into this void, and everyone's looking away, but Doom's staring back into it, which of course becomes a very pivotal story beat later on. But we do get a look into that 1610 Ultimate Universe with what the Maker's been up to when he's warning Nick Fury, and then we cut to 616 and how they're handling it, and Reed Richards is making this life raft and trying to get the best people on it, and some of them aren't making it. And it's really, I think this sets the stage really well for what is to come with this book.
Yeah, it really sets in the panic of, yeah, everything is just going down. Everything is just about to be up in flames and gone. Trying to
Mhm.
just save as many people as possible and just trying to survive for whatever's to come.
Yeah, I thought it was really good, especially the way it ends with Sue Storm trying to like hold her part of the life raft together, and
Oh
Mr.
yeah.
Fantastic trying to reach over and like pull it back and failing to do so.
Yeah, that was a really intense moment just for the first issue alone.
Yeah, this really did set the stage for this book phenomenally. But the second issue really confused me. This was the first time that I had ever read this story. And as soon as they pull up with all of the Thors, I was so confused.
Yeah, it's kind of just like I wouldn't call it a cult, but like it's just an army of Thors that don't even
Yeah.
get chosen anymore to wield like Mjolnir because there's multiple Mjolnirs.
Hmm.
They all have separate names, but they're all called Thors.
Yeah, it's like Doom's personal army as he's assembled a group of Thors together to fight his battles.
But none of them are like as strong as the original Thor. It feels like they're all like baby Thors. They don't
Hmm.
really have crazy amount of strength. They can fly. They can summon the Bifrost type of deal in a sense, where it just sends
Yeah.
them only straight to like Doomstat though,
Hmm.
or Castle Doom.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting how this issue handles everything because it really does set up the world, and at the end we get the map reveal of Battle World. We visit Bar Sinister in it. We visit Doomstat. It is really quite the issue. We see that match between Sinister and Captain Britain. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, and how Sinister just doesn't care for like this new society. He doesn't care for any of it.
No, I mean he doesn't care for normal society. Sinister sucks.
Yeah, Sinister just hates everything though. That's just his usual.
Yeah,
Finally cut to Doom though, how he looks now in the second issue.
the white suit God Emperor Doom looks incredible.
Yeah. He just looks like he means business and he's not to be messed with whatsoever.
Oh, for sure.
Even if there's like regimes going on and such.
Yeah, and I think putting Sue Storm in the future Foundation suit looks really good. And Valeria and Franklin Richards get the 4 and a 5 on their suit.
Yeah,
I think it all just looks incredible. The artwork in this book, like, I cannot understate how phenomenal
I love
this
it.
book is drawn.
I can't get over it. Every time I turn through the pages, whether it be from your copy or just on the app that we use, it I just love the art style.
Mm-hmm.
It all resonates with each other. It feels like it puts emphasis on what's going on really well.
Yeah, that Battle World map, especially. I stared at that for probably 10 minutes trying to figure out everything that was happening
Yeah,
or
everything
going to be
being
happening
everywhere really.
in this book. Yeah. And then issue 3, we get like the proper introduction to Stephen Strange and how he's fitting into this world. And I think it's between issues 3 and 4, are really like Strange's issues.
Yeah, because that's where it's showing like Strange's position in this world of like him being Doom's number two, where if Doom is just like not willing to do any sort of like leadership, then like it all falls to Strange,
Mm-hmm.
since Strange is the second strongest in this new universe.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's the sheriff, I believe it is.
Yeah, they title him as the sheriff in this one,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
it was really good.
it's showing how they discovered in the previous issue, issue two, that they discovered some remnants of the past before everything went down the toilet and just was destroyed. They just find remnants, and they managed to find Miles Morales in one of the life rafts,
Yeah, he is stowed away on uh
the villain's life
the
raft.
Maker's life raft. Yeah.
Yeah. While the other heroes are in a different life raft altogether, made by
Mm-hmm.
Reed Richards.
Yeah, Mr. Fantastic, T'Challa, Namor, who is a Captain Marvel and Star Lord,
Yeah,
Spider Man, of course. Yeah.
yeah. And it's crazy though, because Strange said he found their life raft though, the hero's life raft, 3 years
Mm-hmm.
prior, before finding the villain's life raft, which is very recent.
Yeah, they've all
And he
been
just
in
kept him on
stasis.
ice. Really,
Yeah.
they just kept him out of the fight entirely, because he knew they would just start some sort of problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and Cyclops is the Phoenix, which happens in the first issue, but uh
Yeah, I didn't understand it at first in the first issue what was going on there,
it
because
was
it
just
shows it within like the first what maybe 4 pages.
yeah, how the Phoenix struggle and the outcome to it.
Yeah, that was odd to me.
A bit. I mean, I thought it was pretty solid how it's done, but I know I'm more of an X-Man fan than you are.
Yeah, you know more X-Men stuff than I do. I'm
Um,
not very up to date with it.
I was really disappointed with
Hmm.
the X-Men representation in this book because obviously it is mostly just Cyclops
Yeah.
and Mr. Sinister. Now, I
Yeah.
love Cyclops, but he is unfortunately taken off the board pretty quick.
Yeah. He kind of flexes his powers, but we're not that far in yet.
And Mr. Sinister sucks, and I hate him.
I think everybody hates Mr. Sinister
I
though,
didn't want to see him
because he's so
in this
smug.
book at all. But ultimately, going into this, I knew this was more of a Fantastic Four story.
Avengers and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't even call it Avengers. I would call this primarily a Fantastic Four book. I mean, you have Doom, Sue, Reed. I would call them the main three characters in this.
Yeah, because they do get the most screen time.
Mm-hmm.
They're not screen time, but
They
they're
get the
just on
most
the.
play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they get all the play really. By issue 4 now, we're already trying to muster up a plan together by the looks of it
Mm-hmm.
to try and take Doom's control of the universe.
Yeah. So by issue 4, they'd kind of they found all these remnants. Strange in his Sanctum Sanctorum is.
On Agamotto Island.
I'm sorry. Yeah, he's really just trying to like. There's got to be another way to be doing this. They remember everything. I don't want them to just be wiped out.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the Makers team starts fighting the 616 team, and Doom has to get involved, and it's really good.
Yeah, because he knew they were going to do some sort of insurgency or uprising to beat Doom in some sort of way.
Doom realizing that Reed is alive and around is insane.
Yeah, because he's the only person he fears.
Yeah. Honestly, I told you before we started recording, I really do think issues 1, 4, and 9 are the best ones.
Yeah, I can't disagree honestly.
Because 1 is an incredible issue. Issue 4 is really like, it sets the tone for everything to come. And issue 9 is the finale. It'd be a shame if that wasn't one of the best.
Yeah, because the way it ends is just great.
Mm-hmm.
But here in issue 4, at least, like I said, we got Doctor Doom just absolutely trying to vanquish all of his insurgencies and rebels, we'll call them for now. But he's not having it with any of them.
No, no, he's not.
He's not for it whatsoever.
Yeah, destroying the Phoenix Force is insane.
Yeah, destroying the Phoenix Force, destroying Cyclops, really, is absolutely crazy. And then Steven knows that they're not ready to fight Doom without a real plan, so he just sends them all away on their
Yeah.
own little journey to meet back up and
Mm-hmm.
hide away from Doom for now.
Yeah.
And he's not pleased with that.
No, he is not. That was really like, it was kind of beginning to be a so book for me by issue 3. And then I read issue 4, and the ending with Strange and the fights between Cyclops, the heroes, the confrontation between Doom and Reed. It had me hooked the whole rest of the way through because I wanted to know how it was going to escalate. But yeah, at the end of that book, of course, we do get Doom single handedly taking out Doctor Strange
Yeah,
for
just
betraying him,
extending
as he
his
says.
hand and just evaporating him, making
Yeah,
him disappear.
it was
Because
insane.
it was just like it was nothing. It
Mm-hmm.
was easy.
He swatted him away like a bug.
It was insane.
Doom does that a couple times in this book, and every single time he does it, it is.
He just does it in a different way, but like it gets more gruesome to me, even if there's like no excessive violence. It's
Mm-hmm.
like it's ended in an instant. It's not really a problem.
Yeah,
It's just gone though.
yeah, it is genuinely, and it's so well drawn and executed. Johnathan Hickman really did do an incredible job writing this book.
Yeah,
I mean, he had proven himself already, I think, at Marvel, but this is the reason that he is like one of the top dogs over there. This book.
absolutely. And now we kick it off to issue 5. They're having Strange's memorial. They're discussing the origins of Doom's power, how he acquired it via the Molecule Man being the
Mm-hmm.
center of the universe, really.
Yeah, yeah. The Beyonders and Molecule Man, they really did. They destroyed the universe, and I love
Yeah.
every time they enter his kind of. I don't know what the deal is, if this is like his hiding spot, his prison, but every time he enters, it's, "Did you bring me food? What the
Yeah.
hell? Why didn't you bring me any food?"
I'm so starving. Did you bring me anything, Victor? No, I didn't. I'm just here to talk. He's like, well, I'm starving.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. And it's every time. Doesn't even have to be Victor. It could be literally anybody. He's just like, you brought me some food.
Yeah, it was
And he knows
anybody.
exactly like who you are though too. He's not even looking your way and he just knows who it is.
Yeah, he's one of the Beyonders.
Yeah.
He knows all. And of course, that is the reveal that Doom is able to do this and become this god and emperor because he is harnessing the power and has joined forces with Molecule Man and is really just tearing it up. He was able to bring people back, change everything. The Fantastic Four get a different origin so that he's able to marry Sue. And
He took Reed out of the picture altogether and replaced him with Sue's dad.
yeah, well, I thought that had happened because he couldn't, like, he could replace all the stuff that had died, but
Yeah.
Reed wasn't dead. So that was the whole
No.
thing, is I've been looking for you.
Yeah. Because he knew he wasn't dead.
Mm-hmm.
He just knew it. Somehow he knew it. And turning Johnny Storm though into the sun.
Yeah,
They
I
mentioned it
don't.
earlier on, but like it's crazy.
It is. It's like Sue gets rewarded because obviously she marries him, but the rest of the Fantastic Four, we find out later on, like this instead of Reed, it's replaced with the Sue and Johnny's father, and he's pretty much annihilated instantly.
Yeah, he's kind of just wiped off.
But Sue obviously gets to marry Doom, and then Johnny, it's kind of framed like, oh, it was his
Yeah.
choice to go and do this, but it was most certainly a punishment.
Yeah, because he was being charged with being a rebel against Doom.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, well, since he has a gift, I'm just gonna repurpose him type of deal.
Yeah.
Turn him into the sun that they notably say he's the sun orbits the planet.
Yeah, that was interesting, right? It's not
Yeah.
because there's only Battle World, so it's just Johnny flying around.
Yeah. He's always flying around. He's perpetually just stuck being as bright as he possibly can, staying in the
Mm-hmm.
sun.
It's rough.
It's absolutely tragic.
And then, of course, the thing we later on get the reveal that, there's this like great wall and barrier, and that wall is the thing.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, he's huge.
He's massive.
I didn't understand why they did that, but
I don't know either.
whatever. It looked really cool.
Yeah. We have just when we get to like the middle to end of issue 5 though, we get to see that after Strange sent them to each like corner of Battle World, all the heroes and villains are just recruiting the factions that either stand against Doom or just like are not
Yeah.
even recognized by Doom to like just stand up and become a resurgence and such
Hmm.
to just try and overthrow him to the best of their ability.
Yeah. Yeah, this book was incredible. There's a lot of recruiting, and we're going to do this. This book was a lot of talking, I feel like.
Yeah, it feels like you really had to pay attention to what's going on. Otherwise, like you're kind of lost
Hmm.
because
And
everything's moving very quickly.
yeah, and we've read the main 9 issues in the actual core Secret Wars run. We did not read any of the tie ins,
No,
but I
we did
feel
not.
like until the very end, you do not need to.
No, it feels like this one is very straightforward. It's like you can read the tie-ins if you feel like it to see like your individual characters that like you want to see, like what they did at least and
Hmm.
how they recruited the people, but otherwise you don't need to read it. It still pushes the story along by itself.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the story was so solid and phenomenally written on its own. What I wish is we'd seen more of Reed and the Maker. I wanted to see them interact more in this core story. I do believe that they were together more in a tie in, but yeah, I mean, the story was really quite something.
Yeah. And then we kick off issue 6 with them actually having their plan well formulated and put together. The Maker and Reed
Mm-hmm.
discussing about the prophet
Yeah.
that is just leading the rebel army, which happens to just be Maximus.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're talking about that, and then later on we do get like he does lead the charge on Doomstat, and
Yeah.
I really do like that interaction between both Spider-Man and the Beyonder. Especially the cheeseburger bit.
Yeah. While the miniature war is going on with Maximus, the Spider Men discuss with Valeria and what else was it? Well, they discussed with Valeria that there was a secret passageway underneath the Strange statue,
Mm-hmm.
which led them straight to the Molecule Man,
Yeah.
giving them full details of what really happened and how it all came to be and what's going on, really.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was honestly one of my favorite parts, the Spider-Man interacting, because they had known each other previously, even though this is like the Ultimate Universe in 616. You know, the Spider-Verse is a thing. They'd come together through those kind of crossovers. So this wasn't their first meeting. The Ultimate Universe at this point was a known thing. Um, and I'm glad that moving forward they got to be in the same universe, because obviously Miles Morales adds a whole new layer to 616.
Yeah, he lays on his own factor of what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like after issue 6 it is just the main battle going on.
Yeah, it's the main battle. A few characters here and there straggle off to like get more assistance or aid of either equipment or more resistance support just for the main war that's occurring.
Yeah.
Like T'Challa and Namor heading to Island Agamotto, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Isle of Agamotto, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Where they previously discussed of how they're just gonna get there. They looked for it because Strange just sent them all there magically, but it's in like the farthest reaches of the world that Doom doesn't even know about.
Yeah, and of course he's hiding the Infinity Gauntlet there.
Yeah, he's hiding the Infinity Gauntlet, and he's hiding. I forgot what it is called. The Siege Courageous.
I must have missed that. So much went on in this. Some of this did go over my head.
Yeah,
That is one complaint I have of this, is so much happens.
a lot happens. I didn't even remember what the Siege Courageous even did, but it's simply just an object that teleports you to wherever you want to go.
Great.
Yeah, so it made everything a bit easier. So they pick that up. They pick up the Infinity Gauntlet.
Then they go pick up the Army of the Dead.
They pick up the Army of the Dead. Thanos goes to recruit the Thing, which is
Mm-hmm.
the wall that surrounds Doomstat, Castle Doom.
Yeah. I I love Ben Grimm's thing. I wish he had more to do in this.
Yeah, his thing was just, oh, I've been lied to. I was forced to become the wall of this
Mm-hmm.
country, and I've had no life, and I'm listening to Thanos of all people about this.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy to me.
Issue 7 kicks up where the Maker and Reed are fully just going into their plan. They're storming Castle Doom. T'Challa and Namor recruiting the dead, like we talked about. Sinister just doing sinister things, like usual.
I will say it's interesting that you're obviously taking a peek at the paperback that I have. For whatever reason, Secret Wars is 9 issues.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but that only shows up to like 7 chapters.
7 chapters.
So it's a little odd. They're doing it that way, but whatever.
I think it's just because it's the book version, like the whole book, where I read it off the app and it's all individual.
Maybe.
Couldn't tell you though. I
Yeah,
didn't
I
write
don't
it.
know.
I
Hey,
didn't upload it.
touche.
I just read it.
Touche. Shay. Yeah, I'm trying to find it because obviously that means I did not get the same kind of like intersection points between issues 7, 8, and 9 because it just kind of trucked me on through it all.
You don't get the little breather moment. It's all just continuation.
Yeah, but I mean, I loved it.
Yeah, I have no complaints with it either. Even if I did read it off the app, my only downtime was waiting for it to load up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So issue 7 ends with the undead being recruited. Interesting.
Yep.
And then issue 8, we get Star Lord's like flying them into battle. The Thing has shown up and pretty much immediately is like, "Whoa! I didn't know you were Susie's kid. Do what you got to do." Because of course, for whatever reason, Franklin Richards is like piloting Galactus like a toy.
Yeah, it's like a Gundam.
Yeah. Wild that in Doom's perfect world, he kept all the bad guys and Galactus. That seems like a grade A way for your universe to fall.
Yeah, I can't even tell you if like Galactus is alive though, honestly. I think he's literally just a husk, like an empty body,
Yeah,
because
I'm
he
not
doesn't
even
have any
sure.
interactions with anything. He's just there.
Yeah, issue 8 was honestly really good because this issue, of course, we get the Thing and Galactus fight. We get Star Lord. He's been chewing on a toothpick the whole time. We finally get the reveal that that toothpick is the seedling of Groot.
Mm-hmm. And he just plugs him right into the world tree. Just plugs him into Yggdrasil.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, we also get the reunion of Sue and Reed and how she's like, "Look, I don't know who you are. I saw you on a wanted poster, but
You do seem familiar somehow.
mm-hmm." And then we get the battle between Doom and Thanos.
Yeah, you could call it a battle, but it really was just a long
It
conversation
was a long
to
conversation with a
an abrupt
finisher,
end.
but the abrupt end is insane. I'd seen that picture so many times before reading this. Like, this is
Yeah.
damn near an iconic shot
Honestly,
of Doom.
this could have just been like the cover picture of the
Mm-hmm.
issue, if you ask me. It would have been a great cover picture too.
Yeah. And the issue ends with the horde of the undead finally uh coming through under T'Challa's rule.
Yeah.
And then issue 9, the big finisher, we get a battle between Black Panther, Namor, and Doom. And of course, Black Panther's wielding the Infinity Gauntlet, so it's really good. They like turn him to liquid rock, and it's great.
Yeah. He gets turned to liquid and then he just reforms himself. He was like, that really hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got my attention. Now you've made me mad.
Yeah, we get more of these massive monsters fighting in the sky, while Reed and the Maker are finally making their way down to see Owen Reese, the Molecule Man,
Yeah.
and essentially just convince him to join their side.
Yeah. They did do that.
Yeah, it was interesting that the Maker's like hatching this plan to de-evolutionize
Reed.
Reed.
Yeah, so he could take the power from Molecule Man. And Molecule Man's not really having it.
Yeah, he turns him into,
Pizza.
yeah, pizza
He just
pretty
slices him up.
much. I mean, it was odd. He turns Reed just right back and
Yeah.
I guess just agrees to give him his power. I mean, it was kind of an abrupt thing to be like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know I had another option."
Well, because he was having his tussle with Doom. That's when he showed up
Mm-hmm.
to try and fight for the power, really. Because Molecule Man said, hey, since I want to see how this goes, I'm just going to take the power from you. So you're just regular Doom again.
True.
So they just fight their moral fight, really, of just, hey, I did everything I could to fix the universe. Eh, But Reed's like, yeah, you fixed it in the image that you want it in, where you're at the top instead of everything the way it should be.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, that's exactly what happened, right? He didn't create a universe as it should. He created a universe as he thought would be okay. And of course, that for Doom involves him being not just a ruler, a god.
Yeah.
But I think the fight between the two of them really does look incredible. And uh, the Beyonder, sorry, Molecule Man, like changing everything, and T'Challa using the Infinity Gauntlet to reform this universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just happens just like that.
Yeah, well, then we're back on 616, although they do call it the Prime Earth in this now,
Yeah.
because the whole thing was 616 and 1610 are now dead.
Yeah. It goes to T'Challa fixing the society in Wakanda so they can be more helpful to the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
The Spider-Man getting back to New York, doing what they do, web swinging and such, and Molecule Man saying, "I'm in debt to you, Miles, because you gave me that cheeseburger."
Yeah. He's like, hey, I owe you one. You gave me a 3-week-old burger. I owe you one.
And then, since Reed was given the abilities from Molecule Man to shape the universe as it should be, him and Franklin are uh, restoring the multiverse, just chucking them off into the stratosphere
Yeah, literally just flinging them on out there.
while they're chucking sections of Owen Reese, since apparently he's just multiple versions of himself all collided into one, which is apparently why he's always hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So that's happening there. And Reed is just content with how things are turning out to be. There's no real heroes and villains at the moment since everything's getting back to the way it should be. But then we cut to how he fixed Doom's face, so that's why he has no resistance to Reed anymore. He's just grateful that he fixed his face
Yeah.
because he promised it should be everything it should be, the way it should be.
Yeah. I mean, I thought this book was crazy. I mean, we just covered it cover to cover, really. Ran through it. Gary, what would you give it out of
Out
three
of out
stars?
of our 3 star,
Out of our 3 stars.
I would give it an instant 3 star. I cannot deny.
Yeah, I
It
think
has its
this is
moments where it's slow, but it's good. It's very good.
yeah, I think this is a modern classic for a reason. I think this is a bit of a must read. I think it's a shame because after this, because everyone died and is brought back, not a lot of people in the Marvel universe actually remember Secret Wars even happened. So it is kind of brushed over. But to be fair, it wasn't like a aftermath kind of book because everything's reset. The status quo was just brought back to normal. This was not about um rebooting the 616. This was about saying goodbye to the Ultimate Universe 1610 at the time, because of course after Secret Wars that was it. Like, we didn't get another Ultimate Universe for 8 years because Ultimate Invasion dropped in 2023. This ended in 2016, so 7 years technically they went without the Ultimate Universe. And
Yeah,
even then it's a different universe. We will not be seeing 1610 again because it
it's just gone.
it was eradicated during Secret Wars.
It's eradicated. Everything reset. All the universes made anew, and at the same time restored.
Really, what this was is not a big crazy event book where everything's going to change afterwards. It wasn't like Ultimatum in the Ultimate Universe. This was at the time to say goodbye to the Ultimate Universe and also to say goodbye to the Fantastic Four. They did not appear in comics for quite some time. There was a rights issue going on between Marvel. The Fantastic Four books were kind of put on a hiatus for a bit. They come back, they do Secret Wars, and then they kind of, it's not that they're gone, they're just off doing things right now. And there was a comic series that came out that was all about the Thing and the Human Torch.
They're on standalones type of deal.
Yeah, they did their standalone story, but before eventually coming back together and doing a proper Fantastic Four book, which I believe, yeah, they came back in 2018 for like a 48 issue run. It was crazy. A really good run, actually. It was written by Dan Slott for the most part. It was like everything had been sorted. They could actually properly run a series again. So they did, and now we have another one, which is Fantastic Four, written by Ryan North, which, I can never stop recommending because this is one of the best Fantastic Four books I've ever read.
Yeah, that's your bread and butter right now.
Oh my God, I love it. I think this is great for the Fantastic Four stuff. I wish Reed and the Maker were in this more, like I said, but I know that was kind of subject to a tie in, and they were kind of more so just trying to run through and
Yeah,
close out the Ultimate Universe.
they're
But
trying to keep the ball rolling, really.
yeah, but ultimately, Gary, this is a phenomenal Doom book.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, anytime I think Johnathan Hickman tries and writes Doom, it's incredible.
It feels right on point. It feels like that's the Doom we're supposed to have.
He understands Doom so well inside and out. It's the jealousy, the drive to be the best ruler he can, this love for Valeria. He totally gets it. And I think Johnathan Hickman just is always able to write an incredible piece of work for Doom. Because not only did he do this, he did that Doom spinoff, not spinoff, one shot that came out earlier this year in 2024.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think it's just called
It's just
Doom,
called
but it's
Doom, yeah.
called like Days of Doom as well. But he wrote that, and it was also really good. That was like the universe had been destroyed, and he had to go fight Galactus. It was an incredibly written piece.
Yeah, there's nobody left but him and Valeria. Everybody in the universe gets practically wiped out because he's just universe hopping.
Yeah, it was an incredible piece for Doom.
It's tragic that it's only a one-off.
I know. I would have loved to see more from that book.
Yeah, I would have picked up my own copies.
But after reading this, oh my God. It's not just that he understood Doom for a minute. He obviously has an incredible understanding
Yeah, you would think
of,
he is Doom at that point, with how well he's written.
I know, he's not writing a book, he's writing an autobiography.
Yeah, he's getting me in the mood to just read anything Doom related.
I'm already there.
Yeah, you've
Honestly,
been there.
I love Doom as a character.
I just didn't know how good he was.
Mm,
How
he's
good at being bad.
he's the best. I
He
love
really
him.
is.
But Jonathan Hickman, he knocks it out of the park. He'd really proven to Marvel like before this book that he was, kind of a top dog here, but afterwards, I mean, he really did prove himself. He kind of has a bit of a free reign thing going on at Marvel because of course after this, I'm sorry, before this he had worked on a couple different Avengers books. He'd done a bit of the Fantastic Four run that led up to this cuz they did Fantastic Four. He was the head writer closer to 2011, 2012, and then they had like a rights issue. Then they came back from 2014 to 15, and then they did Secret Wars, and they were gone until 2018.
That's a pretty
So
long time.
yeah, I know, but he did a bunch of stuff for Avengers and Fantastic Four, and he kind of had proved himself doing that. And then he really he gets to do whatever he wants now because he wrote the House of X book for X-Men that relaunched in 2019, and he was the head of X, which is like a very coveted, the guy who oversees all the X-Men books.
Hmm.
He did that for 5 years. Like
Wow.
he just wrapped that up in 2023, 24 with Krakoan era. That was him.
That was him?
Yeah, that was Jonathan Hickman.
Oh, wow.
And now he's doing Ultimate Spider-Man.
And that run is really good.
That run is incredible. I mean, he's just an incredible writer. Anytime I see his name on something, I
You need to get
automatically am
it.
like, do I need to pick that up? Because he's just so good.
It's called a silly question. Of course you have to pick it up.
And of course, Gary, we're covering this because this is supposed to be the basis for what's coming for the MCU. So that would generally be more of a topic for our other great podcast, The Last Movie Run. But I think I wanted a chance for us to read this
I'm
because,
glad we did.
yeah, because I do like knowing some of the source material for the MCU before going in. Do you think Robert Downey Jr. is going to do good as Doom?
I mean, he did great as Iron Man, but Doom is a totally different character is the thing, and it depends on really if his attitude is conveyed really well to
Yeah.
Doom is the thing,
Mm-hmm.
because he has that high and mighty feel, while at the same time like ruling with an iron fist, his absolute hatred for Reed
Mm-hmm.
Richards. Like he has a whole mix of emotions that are mostly just negative. While he was playing Iron Man, though, majority of his emotions are just very like in your face, kind of chauvinistic,
Yeah.
just like I could do it and I could do it better than you can type of deal.
Yeah. I think I think he'll be able to translate to Doom pretty well. Supposedly, allegedly, he's been on set with the Fantastic Four with Pedro Pascal and everyone.
Oh,
So supposedly he'll get a soft launch in that before going into Doomsday and Secret Wars. But I am so glad they switched gears from Kang Dynasty to Doomsday. Not just because,
they kind of had to though.
yeah, I was about to say not just because the guy they had to play Kang, who's Jonathan Majors, who decided to be beating his girlfriend, but because they couldn't have done this. This could not have been based around Kang.
No,
This had to be Doom. So, Gary, do you have anything else you want to add about Secret Wars?
all I could say is pick up your own copy if you are very interested in comic books, especially Marvel books, and give it a read. It's a
Yeah.
great time passer, and it really puts you on the stage for what's to come after it.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of ran through a lot of this here, but listen to two idiots talk about this book versus actually getting to sit down and read it. It really is a whole different experience. So
Yeah,
I couldn't recommend that enough.
it's like night and day. We're just covering little highlight snippets here and there, but
There's so much
the
in this
book as
book.
a whole,
Yeah.
everything that's going on, it's so much, but it keeps you on your toes, even the issues that feel a little bit slower than the previous ones.
Hmm. Yeah, this was an incredible book, and I agree. Anyone who has a chance to pick this up, or maybe it's at your shop. I got this from Barnes and Noble. You know, definitely go pick up this book. So Gary, with that, I think we're gonna wrap it up. God, we won't be on here again till January.
And that is a long time.
That is a long time, but we are going to go on a nice little Christmas break. Gonna enjoy our New Year's. We're gonna come back with a enormous episode covering like 12 books.
Might as well get your cup of coffee ready.
My cup of coffee's been ready. It's gonna be cold by January.
Oh
It's
gosh,
gonna have mold growing out of it. I'm gonna
that's
drink it anyway.
not a good cup.
No, but for right now, I got my cup of eggnog that will sit there because eggnog's gross.
Eggnog, hot chocolate with the marshmallows.
I put mini M&Ms in mine.
Oh,
Yeah, it's really good. We will be back in January. We hope everyone has a phenomenal holiday and, of course, a happy new year. I've been Josh Gilliam,
I'm Gary Torres.
and we hope you have a great holiday season.
Bye.